My name is Lori. I am a high school teacher in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm a very active person. I play tennis, I coach basketball, I play golf, and I couldn't do any of those things anymore because of the pain from this bunion. So I went in for a common bunionectomy to a podiatrist here locally, and it was only supposed to be a 2-week downtime that I would miss work and school for about 2 weeks, and then I'd be on crutches for about 4 weeks after that. That is definitely not what happened. The procedure itself was supposed to, you're under anesthesia and he operates and he shaves and repositions the bone. That's going to involve putting pins in temporarily to straighten the bone and to shape the bone so that it's not sticking out and causing all the pain. There was an infection almost immediately after surgery, and the infection would later turn into osteomyelitis, which ate the bone away. So it wasn't the surgery, it was the aftermath, the aftercare. He continued to treat it, which also I wasn't aware that a podiatrist cannot systemically treat infection, but he continued to treat it, and he kept saying, everything's going to be fine, this is normal, people develop infections all the time. The day that they pulled the pins out, the infection was so bad, a nurse had to hold me down, and I was screaming when they were pulling the pins out. My dad had driven me to the appointment, and he was out in the waiting room. Now, this is an ex-Marine, and he came barreling in there, and he said, "I can hear her screaming," and he told them to stop. That was the first time I knew this isn't right, and I got to get some help. I remember the emergency room doctor, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that I was, not screaming. It was really bad. It was very bad. We went to a wound care specialist the next day. He referred me, got me right in, and basically they said, you might lose your toes at this point. I knew of a good friend that was a orthopedic surgeon in Indianapolis, and I went up there. He got me in, and he said, I think we can save the toes, but it's going to take another surgery, and you're going to have a PICC line. I said, no PICC line. You can do the surgery, but no PICC line. And he came in for the pre-surgical thing. He says, what if I do the PICC line while you're under anesthesia? You're not even going to feel a thing. You wake up, it's already be done. They did the PICC line, they did the surgery, and the day after surgery, I collapsed, and an embolism had occurred from the PICC line. And I remember the ER doctor saying, you have an embolism the size of Texas, and if it throws a clot, you could die. So can we quit for a minute? They were able to shrink the embolism and everything. After that, the wound began to heal finally. And my dad said, you need a lawyer. He was talking to somebody in his church, and they had used this law firm before, and you got to call them. So I called Blake Smith and told him my story, and he said, I want to see you tomorrow. And Blake was like, my God, your life has been turned upside down, so you've got a case. There's no question. You've got a case. He just was so calm, and he's like, we're going to make this right. We're going to make this right. You're going to get satisfaction. If you don't, you need to tell me and we'll do something different. You know, when you're sitting day after day after day after day, laying in a bed in pain, and you're having to go through all these doctor appointments and physical therapy, you get bitter. And he helped me through that. In fact, the whole firm did. And to this day, you know, they're my second family. And I owe them a lot.